So now I want to share another inside Intel opportunity with you. And Eric Dishman is General Manager of the Health Strategy and Solutions Group inside DCSG. And Eric has a very interesting personal story to share that helps you understand why he's doing what he's doing and why he's in the job he's in today. So Eric will talk a little bit about his personal story and a little bit about what his team is doing to help bring big data solutions to bear for healthcare. So you can start the video.
I was recently diagnosed as being medically boring. Now, this is good news. This is a miracle, really. 25 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare form of kidney cancer and 2 other diseases, and the prognosis from the doctors was bleak. They're like, you're going to have 1 to 2 years to live at most. You'll never get a kidney transplant. You need to prepare to die. And I started to do that at first until I met another patient who kind of woke me up out of this fog and said, get thy data. I didn't even know what she meant by that, but we went to the library, started doing research on the conditions and the proclamations they had given me, and pretty soon sort of figured out they didn't know anything about me. People 19 didn't get these rare forms of kidney cancer. And I managed from that point forward to be a data-driven, proactive patient, sort of carving out my own path to figure out how I was going to get back to health and wellness. Now, this worked for a couple of decades, and I sort of turned cancer into a chronic condition and managed it almost sort of matter-of-factly until a few years ago when my kidneys finally failed. And I knew that I was in trouble because the options for chemotherapy and the options for treatment once your kidneys are failed are quite limited. And then I got really lucky. I happened to run into somebody who worked at a company that said, well, why don't we sequence your whole genome? I didn't even know what this meant. I knew Intel had been working with genome companies and universities and cancer labs who were coming to us because they didn't have enough compute to sort of solve the problems that they were doing. But suddenly it was real for me. It took 4 weeks of processing on one of Intel's high-performance compute clusters to sequence my genome, just to get all the DNA lined up and figure out where my mutations were. And then it took another 6 months of FedExing this 5-terabyte whole genome file that it created back and forth from my West Coast doctors to my East Coast doctors to try to make sense of it and figure out what was wrong. Until one day, all my doctors sort of came in and said, we have misdiagnosed you for 25 years. We have put you on countless chemotherapies and radiations and other kinds of treatments, and the cost on you and the healthcare system are all just insurmountable, but we didn't have a way of discovering this before until now. I mean, that's the power of big data. I don't even like the term big data. We ought to call it big discovery, because this big discovery in my life meant all of a sudden I was cured enough to go get a kidney transplant, and 7 months ago I had that surgery thanks to an Intel employee who donated to me, and now I am sitting here as healthy as anyone. I ran 6 miles this morning, which I haven't done since I was age 19, all thanks largely to big data analytics. Now, Intel is investing in the future of big data. We're trying to figure out the compute and the storage and the networking and the security end-to-end and the software capabilities like Hadoop. I mean, I didn't even know what this was until somebody explained it to me. But all these capabilities, we're trying to turn them into something that make it easy and possible for all industries to make these big discoveries. And in the case of healthcare, the biggest discovery is going to be the discovery of truly personalized medicine. I'm living testament to the power of big data and personalized medicine. The problem is only 50,000 people on the planet have ever had a whole genome sequence done. The problem is that all these technical challenges are keeping these amazing new business models and care models from emerging. So in many ways, I think of Intel's investments as the ability to make everybody boring, medically speaking.